Hello everyone and welcome back to CodeChef. In today's video, we are diving into one of the most powerful and commonly used data structures in C++, that is vectors. By the end of this video, you will understand how to declare vectors, multiple ways to initialize them, and how to access vector elements safely. So let's get started.
Vector basic declaration in C++. A vector in C++ is a dynamic array. It can grow and shrink during runtime. Declaring a basic vector is very simple. Its syntax is #include. In angular braces we have written vector, so this is a header file that we use when we want to use the concept of vectors in our program. Then the syntax for declaring it is vector, then in angular braces we will write the data type for the vector elements and then vector name, semicolon. Then if we want to declare more than one vectors at a time, but they are all of same data type, then we can use the second syntax, which is vector, then in angular braces data type, then vector name 1, vector name 2. And it can go on and on for as many vectors as we want to declare, but the only condition is that they all should have same data type and semicolon. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform to see how to declare basic vector in C++. The program objective is declare vectors for a student database, and the expected output is vectors for storing student data have been declared. Student names, student IDs, student GPAs, and is enrolled are ready for use. Coming to the code, #include IOStream, #include vector. We have already discussed that when we are using the concept of vectors in our program, we have to use this header file vector. Then using namespace std semicolon int main. Then inside curly braces we have declared multiple vectors, vector. Then in angular braces we have written string, which means the data type for this vector is string, and the vector name is student underscore names, semicolon. Then vector in angular braces int, and the vector name is student underscore IDs, semicolon. Then vector in angular braces double and student underscore GPAs, semicolon. Vector in angular braces bool, which is boolean data type. Vector name is underscore enrolled and semicolon. Now in comments you can see the first vector student underscore names is used to store names of student. Then student underscore IDs is used to store student ID numbers. Then student underscore GPAs, it is used to store student GPA score. And is enrolled vector is used to track whether a student is enrolled or not. And since the data type is boolean, its value will be either true if enrolled and false if not enrolled. Then cout in double inverted commas vectors for storing student data have been declared, and endl semicolon. Then cout in double inverted commas student names, student IDs, student GPAs, and is enrolled are ready for use. endl semicolon. Return 0 and the main function ends here. Now let us run the program to see the output. So here, vectors for storing student data have been declared. Student name, student IDs, student GPAs, and is enrolled are ready for use. So this is how we declare vectors in C++. Other declarations and initialization methods. C++ gives many more ways to initialize vectors depending on your use case. First type of syntax is vector, then in angular braces data type, and then vector name, semicolon. This is the one that we have already discussed, and it is an empty vector. Then if we write vector, then angular brace data type, then vector name, and then in brackets we are writing size and semicolon. So this is declaring a vector with size elements. That means total number of elements in this vector will be the value that we are putting in place of size, and it is an default initialize argument. Next is vector in angular braces data type, then vector name. In bracket we have written size comma value, bracket close and semicolon. So here we are declaring vector with again size, number of elements, and they are all set to the value that we have written after size. Then vector data type in angular braces, vector name, and then is equal to, now in curly braces, val1 comma val2 and so on, bracket close and semicolon. So here we are initializing vector with specific initial values, and whatever values we want to assign to the vector are written in curly braces. Then we have vector name dot push underscore back, and in bracket we are writing value, bracket close and semicolon. So it is used to add elements one by one at the end of the vector. Now let us go to the CodeChef platform to see an example of this kind of declarations and initialization. The program objective is initialize a vector of student grades, and the expected output is vectors have been declared, printing their content. Quiz score 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Exam scores 100, 100, 100. Homework grades 95, 87, 93, 90. Backup grades 95, 87, 93 and 90. Now let us go to the code. Hash include IOStream, hash include vector. Using namespace std semicolon. Then int main, now inside curly brace, vector in angular braces int and grades, semicolon. So here we are initializing an empty vector. Then vector in angular brace int, then quiz score, and then in bracket I have written 5, bracket close and semicolon. Here we are initializing a vector with size of 5 elements, and all of them are 0 by default. Next is vector in angular braces int, exam scores, and in brackets 3, 100, bracket close and semicolon. Here we are initializing the vector with size, which is 3, so it can hold up to 3 elements, and all of them are 100 because in place of value I have written 100. Then vector in angular braces int HW grades is equal to in bracket I have written 95, 87, 93, 90, bracket close and semicolon. So here we are initializing the vector HW grades with specific values which are written inside these brackets. Then vector int in angular braces backup grades, then in bracket HW grades, bracket close and semicolon. So here we are initializing the vector backup grades by copying another vector inside it, which is HW grades, which means the elements of backup grades and HW grades vectors will be similar. Then cout in double inverted commas, vectors have been declared, full stop, printing their content, and colon, endl and semicolon. Now let us print the value of all the vectors. Cout in double inverted commas, quiz scores, colon, semicolon. Then we are using a for loop to iterate through this vector quiz score. For in bracket int I is equal to 0, semicolon I less than 5, semicolon I plus plus, bracket close, and then cout. Now it will print the value of all the elements which are stored at different index number in vector quiz scores. Double inverted commas with a space and a semicolon. Then cout endl to shift the cursor in a new line, semicolon. Then cout in double inverted commas exam scores, colon, and then a semicolon. Again we are using the for loop to iterate through the exam score vector. For in bracket int I is equal to 0, semicolon I less than 3, semicolon I plus plus, bracket close. Then cout, now it will print all the values from index number 0 to 2 for the vector exam scores. In double inverted commas, we have written space and semicolon. Then cout endl and a semicolon. Cout in double inverted commas homework grades colon and then a semicolon. Now we are going to use the for loop to iterate through HW grades vector. For, then in bracket int I is equal to 0, semicolon I less than 4, semicolon I plus plus. Cout, then it will print all the elements of HW grades from index number 0 to 3. Then space in double inverted commas and semicolon. Cout ENDL semicolon. Then cout in double inverted commas backup grades colon and then semicolon. Now we are using the for loop to print the elements of backup grades vector. For in bracket int I is equal to 0, semicolon I less than 4, semicolon I plus plus bracket close. Then cout, now backup grade and then in square bracket we have written I. So the compiler will iterate through all the elements of vector backup grades from index number 0 to 3 and then space in double inverted commas and a semicolon. Cout ENDL semicolon. Return 0 semicolon and the main function ends here. Now let us run the program to see the output. Vectors have been declared, printing their content colon quiz scores colon 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, exam scores colon 100, 100, 100, homework grades colon 95, 87, 93 and 90 and backup grades 95, 87, 93 and 90. This output matches exactly to the expected output. Accessing vector elements in C++. In C++, a vector is like a dynamic array that can grow or shrink. Once you store values inside a vector, you will often want to access or read them. C++ provides multiple ways to do this, each with its own purpose. So now let us go to the CodeChef platform and see how can we access vector elements in C++. Here, the program objective is print vector elements with product prices. The expected output is displaying product prices at specific indices using square bracket colon 19.5, 12.99, 27.45. Displaying product prices at specific indices using dot at and bracket colon 19.5, 12.99, 27.45. Now let us go to the code. Hash include IOStream, hash include vector. Using namespace std semicolon. Int main, curly brace begin for the main function, vector double in angular braces, product prices is equal to curly brace begin 49.99, 19.50, 35.75, 12.99, 60.00, 27.45, bracket close and semicolon. Then cout in double inverted commas displaying product prices at specific indices using square bracket colon. Then ENDL and semicolon. Now we will print product prices at indices 1, 3 and 4. That means at index number 1, index number 3 and index number 5 using the square bracket. Cout product prices in square bracket 1 and then space in double inverted comma semicolon. This means the element which is present at the index number 1 in product prices vector will be printed. After that, it will print a space, then cout product prices in square brackets 3, again space in double inverted commas and semicolon. So the element which is present at index number 3 in vector product prices will be printed. Then cout product prices in bracket 5 and ENDL semicolon. So the element at index number 5, which is actually the 6th element if you count from 0, will be printed. Brackets and colon. Then cout in double inverted commas displaying product prices at specific indices using dot at brackets and colon. ENDL semicolon. Cout product prices dot at inside bracket we have written 1 and then space in double inverted commas, semicolon. So the element which is present at index number 1 in product prices vector will be printed. Again, cout product prices dot at, in bracket we have written 3 and space in double inverted commas. So the element which is present at index number 3 in product prices vector will be printed. Cout product prices dot at, in bracket 5 and endl semicolon. So the sixth element or the element which is at index number 5 will be printed from vector product prices. Return 0 semicolon and the main function ends here. Now let us run the program to see the output. Displaying product prices at specific indices using square bracket, colon 19.5, 12.99, 27.45. Displaying product prices at specific indices using dot at brackets and colon 19.5, 12.99, 27.45. So here we have discussed two different syntax for accessing elements in C++.
That's all for today's video on vectors in C++. We learned how to declare vectors, initialize them in multiple ways, and access their elements safely. Do not forget to practice using these concepts yourself on the CodeChef platform. Thank you so much for watching.